themselves heard. Let's pipe them right down. Players out on the pitch. They're around the centre circle. Argentina flag with the sun in the middle to the right. George Cross to the left. As we get ready for both of the national anthems here in Atlanta. Fans have been in fine voice building up to the game. Let's see what happens during these anthems, starting with England's God Save the King. The Argentinian fans did their very best to drown that out. Now the Argentinian national anthem, Himno Nacional Argentino.
Please remain standing if you're able for the playing of the national anthem of Argentina.
The most incredible pair of anthems I've ever not heard. You could barely hear a note of God Save the King in the stands, and the Argentina one was loud and proud, but the England fans trying to drown that out as well. It tells you all you need to know about this game, about this matchup. In World Cup meetings between these two, it's always the superstars making the headlines. Greaves and Charlton in 62, Hurst in 66, Maradona 40 years ago, Beckham for the wrong reasons in 98, Beckham for the right reasons in 2002. And so here to Atlanta, we have the superstars on the pitch. Who will make the headlines? It's England against Argentina in a World Cup semi-final, live on TalkSport with your team of former England captain Stuart Pearce, alongside TalkSport England commentator Jim Proudfoot.
Adrian, thank you, and a very good evening to you for as big a game as England have had on the world stage for 60 years. How are you feeling tonight? Well, this has been on the cards since December. Ever since the draw was made, a semi-final with Argentina has loomed on the horizon, a mouth-watering prospect, initially in the realms of ifs, buts and maybes, but one that has edged closer as the pieces of the competition's jigsaw have been lowered into place. For 7 months of possibility, for 4 days of reality, anticipation heightened with every passing hour, as if the stakes weren't high enough. And you just know that whatever happens here in Atlanta tonight will shape English football history. Because just like the Argentine captain Ratin at Wembley in 66, this is a fixture that never goes quietly. If that match brought the bitterness to the game, it has endured. Through Maradona's punch and panache, Owen's coming of age, Beckham's petulance and redemption sandwiched around shootout despair. Everyone knows the stories, the emotions, whether you live through them or not. Brace yourself now for the latest sequel, because just 3 sides remain as a succession of vanquished have taken their leave. The mouth-watering prospect of glory, very real for the surviving trio, but here in Atlanta, if you're not the Georgia best, those dreams will be shattered. since their most famous of all footballing hours of England won a World Cup knockout tie against a side ranked above them in the world. It's a damning statistic, and it needs immediate attention. So can the Three Lions supply the roar on a day where raw emotion is guaranteed? Because victory tonight will be the most important England win in many of our lifetimes. Very interesting watching the national anthem, Stuart. England appeared focused. Argentina, if anything, maybe a little bit overcooked with emotion, with tears rolling down the faces of 2 or 3 of their players.
Jim, I've got to say it's the most disrespectful I've heard any set of fans to be anti each other's anthem, and to be fair, I fully expected it, to be honest with you. It shows the venom, it shows the opportunity that both teams see they've got, and there's a glass ceiling here for England, and they've got to smash their way through it with a composed mindset.
Against this Argentinian team of Emi Martinez, Molina, Romero, Lisandro Martinez and Tagliafico, Simeone, Paredes, McAllister and Fernandes, Messi and Alvarez. England, Pickford, James, Stones, Gahey and Spence, Bellingham, Anderson, Rice, Rodgers and Gordon wide of Harry Kane, who's now played more games than any other England outfielder in history. It's number 1-2-1 today. The men in white need to be the Braves in Atlanta on a day for courage and cool heads, mentality and magnificence. A day when each nation's considerable stakes are heightened by an intertwined past and by the shirt of the opposition. On the face of it, they don't come much bigger than this. But can England ensure that this isn't even the biggest game of their week? England in all white, Argentina begging FIFA to let them play in their change kit of all dark blue, imagining it will give them a psychological advantage after they did so in their away kit in both 86 and 98. England defending the wonder wall of Three Lions supporters away to our left-hand side in this first half. Argentina kicking from right to left, get us underway. It's World Cup semi-final time. It's live on TalkSport. Have you ever listened to a game more important than this? Argentina working back to their goalkeeper, playing forward at the touchline and straight out for an England throw, which is taken quickly by Jed Spence, one of the 3 players recalled to the England starting lineup today. Another right in front of us, and Reece James, and third Morgan Rogers just ambles now towards the edge of the Argentinian penalty area. Ball back with Mark Gahey finding John Stones. And Stones taking a touch, drops it into the feet of Elliot Anderson, who will now come forward to Declan Rice, and straight back for Anderson again. Argentina, on occasions, have struggled to really impose any tempo on a game in the early stages. Vital, therefore, Stuart, that England can do that here. There's no real briskness about their passing in the opening minute or so.
No, we watched Spain yesterday, and Spain played with a process of, look, we're going to play out from the back, but we're always looking to play through you. England need to find that a little bit. Messi's at the front of the team here. He's not going to shut you down. Use him as a weakness to them to set a platform from the back.
First free kick goes England's way. It will not be the last. Jude Bellingham just given a daft shove off the ball by Paredes. So already the battle lines have been drawn. It was only 2 seconds after the ball had gone. Jude picked himself up. No reaction. Just a grin on his face and in his eyes. Pickford plays the ball forward. It's headed away. Right back area by Argentina, by Molina. England tried to turn it over, but Romero of Tottenham bring the ball under control, plays it through the midfield for Enzo Fernandez. Nervy ball through the penalty area for Lisandro Martinez, now to Tagliafico, and worked up the Argentinian left. This time their ball forward does take a deflection out, and it gives them a throw midway inside their own half. England with all the early territory through the opening couple of minutes, but it's still goalless here on TalkSport.
Yeah, looking to press high, England, as I say. Ball's gone back to Martinez there on a couple of occasions. England have got on the front foot, tried to press high, turn the ball over.
Alvarez flicking the ball forward. Messi tried to turn in possession. He had 3 in white shirts around him. They're appealing for a free kick. Peel's laced in optimism, then Anderson has been caught off the ball by Enzo Fernandez. This is not going to end 11 against 11. There are recriminations already. Jude getting involved, going in, shoulder to shoulder with one of the Argentinian players, and that is exactly what La Albi Celesti want. But it was a poor challenge on Anderson, who has stayed down, and Argentina try to rattle England in these early stages. And whilst the referee stands over Anderson and there are 6 or 7 players looking on there's another pocket of 10 or 12 still indulging in a pretty verbal slanging match midway inside the Argentinian half. Referee has got a really difficult job on his hands here.
Well, it's took us less than 3 minutes for 2 England players to be put to the surface with late challenges. Now, what England need to do is just get away from it and laugh it off. But they've started to get involved with pushing and shoving. That's exactly what the Argentinians will want them to do, and it'll play into their hands. It doesn't play into our hands to play in that manner. And the referee has booked no one on the back of that, and there lies the problem. And
Jude Bellingham is just indicating to him now by throwing an elbow into thin air and then pointing to the back of his head that the referee is missing some pretty intense moments in the heart of this battle. England from the free kick work it back inside their own half. Jordan Pickford has it. Stones offers himself to his right. Here is Anderson, who's okay and unfazed by the challenge that came in on him. Rice has got to make sure he doesn't get caught in the possession inside his own half by Julian Alvarez, the former Manchester City man. He doesn't. England can work it wide out towards Gahey. Play forward towards Spence. First chance for him to try and take on Simeone. And he's got the left-hand side of the penalty area. Good challenge comes in on him from the retreating fullback Molina, and they're just about able to stop it going out of play for a corner. But that was the first indication that Spence has got the beating in pace, or beating full pace, of both of the players on the Argentinian right. Yeah,
first time England have actually passed the ball, got it out of their feet and gone forward. Well done, Jed Spence. And as I say, that should act as almost inspiration for the rest of the players, especially the attack-minded players.
Pickford works the ball forward. Reece James has lost it to Alexis McAllister. Argentina, in tapping it forward, only present it straight to Mark Gahey. England Stones to James, and hurried inside their own half. Anderson just makes sure he plays a percentage ball forward. He's put it off the island and out of play for an Argentinian throw. Every bit as feisty as we anticipated through 5.5 on TalkSport at 0-0.
England have got to be careful, Jim, that they're building up, but with no real plan of where they're trying to build up to and through. And Spain gave them a great eye line of that yesterday, I think. If you didn't know how to play through the thirds, watch Spain.
Spence has had a really good start. It's a magnificent piece of skill to get him away from Simeone, having tackled him, and then Simeone has stuck his foot out and caught an Englishman. Must run in the family. And it's going to be a free kick, which will be taken by England in their left-back position. 0-0 here. 6 minutes gone, a very tempestuous start. The winners play Spain in New Jersey in the World Cup final on Sunday. It kicks off at 8. The losers of this one take on France in Miami on Saturday in the third-place playoff, and that kicks off at 10 o'clock your time. England in possession. 15 yards outside their own penalty area. Jordan Pickford, left-footed ball over the top, trying to get it down towards Morgan Rogers. It's a wonderfully executed pass. He's got Declan Rice making his way forward. Rogers getting round the outside, gets it inside the area, wins the corner to England, the first of the day.
See, there's nothing wrong with that. We've been pussyfooting around in our own half, making passes where we're not looking to break Argentina down. All of a sudden, the goalie gets on the ball, it's a big diagonal, Rogers takes his full-back on, and we force a corner from it. We've got to play on our terms rather than theirs, I think.
So Rice will come across to take the corner, which is the near side, the England right. And there are 5 waiting on the edge of the penalty area, although they're already making different paths inside the box now. Rogers and Anderson the most advanced. Kane the deepest towards the edge of the penalty area. Stones is in there as well. An opportunity maybe to work it short for Reece James. Ball comes inside the penalty area. An England player goes down. It was Anderson. Play goes on. Argentina trying to break quickly. Gahey did well to make sure that that wasn't viable. And then has just raised his foot in the midfield. And as the free kick is taken by Alexis McAllister, he's just smacked it straight at Mark Gahey. They were desperate for a yellow card. And good refereeing, as Mr. Elfat said, no, you absolutely did it on purpose. You gave him no chance to get out of the way, take the free kick again.
Well, once again, VAR, if you're listening to this, I'm sure you're not, but if you are, have a look at Simeone and John Stones, please. And the referee, I think, is politely ignoring certain things that are going on in this game. Maybe that's a good thing for the sake of the game, maybe it's not.
Ismail El-Fat from the United States is the referee, who once wanted a selfie on the field with Lionel Messi. The VAR is Marco De Bello from Italy. Another free kick goes Argentina's way. This one's 15 yards outside their box. Reece James with the foul. It's 0-0 through the opening 8 minutes. Last time that a side went on to win the World Cup, having beaten a higher-ranked team en route, was Brazil back in 2002. They beat England. You'll remember the goal. The sense that this is going to be another one of those days where you will always remember the goals, whatever happens, whichever way this goes. We're going to be seeing moments of England history scribed in front. Ed Spence to try and get himself isolated against Mark Gahey, and the free kick wasn't taken quickly, and as a consequence they didn't find it, but it was a good run, and England have got to be alive to that. Argentina then squander it.
Yeah, they certainly have, Jim. As I say, he's come across the line and just darted in behind. The pass wasn't played, fortunately for England, but when you've got the likes of him making those movements, like Gordon's just done now for England.
Can he wrap his left foot around it and keep it in? He could, but his cross went straight into the hands of the goalkeeper. There's no chance of Morgan Rogers being able to get on the end of that, and Argentina will bring it away.
Yeah, I'd just like to see England play maybe another 30 yards up the pitch if we can. Just put a little bit more pressure on this Argentinian back line. We're keeping possession of the ball, which is fine, but most of that is in our own half. Game just settling down slightly now.
Now we're 10 minutes in, we've had 7 fouls. We haven't had a shot on goal from either side as yet. Ball is out for a throw, which will be taken on the near touchline, the left. We can't actually see the near touchline from where we are. As you can imagine, the world and his wife are here broadcasting, and as a consequence, it's difficult to see all areas of the pitch as the ball is worked forward. Anderson is in there with a block challenge, and as he's trying to get back to his feet, is he holding one of his opponents down? Meanwhile, Morgan Rogers leans over Leandro Paredes, and he is complaining as he gets back to his feet. This is it's almost an impossible task for the referee, because he and the VAR need eyes in the back of their heads, trying to ascertain exactly what is going on at any given moment.
Yeah, it's almost a game where you need to say, right, okay then, we won't play to the rules. It's survival of the fittest, no free kicks, get on with it. It really is. And England can't be drawn into a game of this nature, because one thing you can guarantee, the Argentinians are better at it than we are. And we're too obvious at the dark arts, in my opinion. So every time something happens, smile, walk away, let the referee deal with it, because at the end of the day, I know what's going to happen. The first player to get booked in this game will be an England player.
That has to be phenomenally easier said than done, though.
It doesn't, not when you're representing your own country. You just turn the other cheek, because if you don't, Jim, the cost is too much.
Enzo Fernandez working the ball out of the right flank. He has it again now. It was just kept in over on the Argentine right. Ball's played back to the centre-half Romero. Paredes will just drop deep and split the two centre-halves whenever Argentina are in possession. Haven't got it close to the edge of the England penalty area as yet through the opening 12 minutes. Of course, the last time England were in a World Cup semi-final, they were already ahead at this stage with that brilliant early free kick from Kieran Trippier on a night of disappointment in Moscow. Simeone's offside as they work the ball down to him. He made the run in behind Jed Spence, and then as Pickford comes out to try and take the ball off him, Simeone trying to wrestle it away. It's so petulant, and it's a free kick to England.
See, there's only one winner. Simeone's run back with the ball, Pickford's run out, knocked the ball out of his hands, and Simeone lies on the floor. There's only one winner if we play to these rules, and it's them.
Simeone was never likely to take after his mother, was he? Here's Anderson in the heart of the midfield.
I played against his mother on a few occasions. She's a tough cookie, mate.
I don't follow that. England bringing it forward.
An England goal, hopefully.
Here's Gordon trying to provide it. Anthony Gordon inside the penalty area on his right foot. Still he goes, still Gordon goes. Nudged away from him. McAllister will be able to get it clear. England have got to try and get their defensive shape back now as Argentina look to break quickly. Simeone and McAllister with a wonderful 1-2. Now played out of the right. Enzo Fernandez will make a good darting run forward. Cross the cover is Reece James, but Alvarez can still pick it up. Now towards Enzo Fernandez. Crossed inside the penalty area, but it sails through the box. And Tagliafico will pick it up. But England have now got 10-11 back behind the ball again. Paredes is still 0-0 here on TalkSport. 14 minutes in. Paredes 20 yards outside the penalty area, trying to draw Harry Kane towards him. But they can be desperately dangerous on the counter-attack. England, for all the possession that they've had, have got to guard against those situations where possession is turned over quickly. And Argentina will go. McAllister works another ball forward. A little bit too straight for Messi. Knew he wasn't going to beat Mark Gahey in the air and made no attempt to do so. And Simeone lets the ball run out of play. Shoulder to shoulder legitimately with Jed Spence. And it's a throw to Argentina that they've taken quickly. Argentina in very dark blue. England in all white. And the three lines kicking from left to right. Paredes just played forward towards the near edge of the penalty area again. This time it's England's turn to turn over possession. Good challenge from Paredes. That was a clean one. Just denied Jude Bellingham the opportunity to bring it forward on the counter-attack. Jude's touch a little bit heavy. And Paredes took advantage. McAllister in towards the edge of the penalty area. Another good clean challenge. That time on Messi by Bellingham. And the referee says play on. He won't let play go on this time as Gordon is shoved to the ground by Molina. And England have a free kick inside their own half. It's 0-0. It's everything we thought it was going to be.
It's absolutely magnificent. It's a game of chess, albeit a very aggressive game of chess. And just watch Paredes just put Jude Bellingham on his backside. He give him a mouthful as he went past him, and Jude is doing exactly what he should do, laugh at him. What a game we got.
Chess with knuckle dusters. Rodgers laying it back for James. It's John Stones inside his own half. 17th World Cup appearance for John Stones today. Rodgers showing for the ball, coming infield off the right-hand side. James and Stones exchanging passes. Back it goes to Anderson. Anderson across to Gahey. Spence wanting the ball to be played into feet on the left-hand touchline has got his wish. Gordon makes a run infield ahead of him towards the corner of the penalty area. England work it back for Gahey. Again, it's not at a great tempo, this little passage of play. James has made a good run forward into the heart of the midfield. 1-2 between him and Bellingham is a promising one. Now Spence has got it. Trying to get inside the box and couldn't. And the ball has just gone over the dead ball line out for a goal kick. But better from Spence, a good movement from Reece James as well into the heart of midfield from right back.
Well, I don't think I've ever seen so many football players celebrating small wins on football pitches, challenges and whatever. Well done to England there, asking questions of this back line.
Very cagey though, without a single attempt. I thought it was going to be a high-scoring first half. Might yet be, of course, but at the moment 0-0 and not even a sniff of a chance at either end through the opening 17 minutes. And shadow boxing supreme. Both sides trying to stamp an authority on the physical nature of this game and try to influence the decisions of the referee. There's plenty of verbals going on, plenty of advice being given from players of both sides to the man in the middle, Ismail El-Fan.
I tell you what, he's done quite well, the referee, at this moment in time, and long may that continue.
Argehi for England with Talk Sport. It's 0-0. John Stones now inside the centre circle. Towards Reece James. James to Rodgers. Rodgers infield. Inch-perfect ball for Declan Rice. He's got Tagliafico snapping at his heels. Rodgers has done well and Rice very nearly got it back to him. It's gone out for a throw that will be taken on the England right. That was good play from Rice. His most dynamic contribution so far. Really good link up with Morgan Rodgers on the England right. Anderson's got it now from that throw. He was given a shove by Alvarez. Played forward by Anthony Gordon. Kane. Good ball. Down to Rodgers. Right hand side of the area. James on the overlap. And it was a potent ball in from the right hand side, but too close to Emi Martinez, who can grasp it gratefully into his body.
Yeah, super ball by Kane. Set up the opportunity, but I think the ball for Rodgers was right under the feet of James. Needed to have a little bit more culture on the ball. That would have given the attacking players more opportunity to get into the box, delay the cross. Martinez scooped it up.
Alessandro Martinez bring the ball out from the back. Here's Messi, slightly heavy touch, and Elliot Anderson whacks it away from him. And the England supporters away to our left-hand side, loving that moment. Let's go down pitch now. We'll catch up with our England correspondent Faye Carruthers. What's been the mood of the England supporters behind you in these early stages, Faye?
Arms crossed at the moment, a little bit tense, a little bit agitated by the way that Argentina are playing this game as well, Jim, as they go on the attack.
With Alvarez, left-hand side of the box. Crossing it through the penalty area, it's chested down, almost finding Enzo Fernandez. And Anderson again was back there to get it away. Another looping header inside the England penalty area is dealt with by Gehi, but the offside flag is up again. It's a free kick that England will take away to our left. 0-0 through the opening 20 minutes. England have won the last two meetings of these two nations, including the last one of the World Cup, that 1-0 win in Sapporo. David Beckham's penalty won them the game after Pochettino's foul on Owen. Argentina prior to that knocking England out on penalties in San Etienne in 98, at the Azteca in 86. England triumphing in 62 in Rancagua, Chile, and at Wembley with a Jeff Hurst goal in 66. This is the latest instalment of one of the most deep-rooted international rivalries that the game has ever seen. Sixth time that they've played each other on the World Cup stage. Paredes knocking the ball forward for Alexis McAllister. McAllister into the feet of Messi. Got a little touch on the turn from him. He's inviting the fullback Molina forward. Simeone making another darting run as McAllister just lays it back. Simeone almost finding himself leading the line on several occasions here, coming in off that right flank. There's a real fluidity about the Argentinian attacking shape. Now Paredes. Kane doesn't engage. He just gives him almost a deferential amount of space. Paredes can work it wide. Finding Julian Alvarez, whose crossing is blocked by Reece James, and it ricochets away and out of play for an Argentinian throw on the left. Here's the England legend Stuart Pearce.
Yeah, Argentina have looked a bit of a danger. Ball into Messi's feet, and he's so cute with his feet. He just let it hit his feet and spring off, ball round the corner without even moving or playing the pass on that occasion. And as you picked up earlier, Simeone's movement from the width on the right hand side across the line, looking to dart in behind.
And McAllister playing it back. He just caught off the ball there by Jude Bellingham. The referee says yes. Free kick is given. I thought for a moment he was just going to reach for his pocket. I wonder at what stage he decides enough is enough, and he just tells the players, right, whoever is the perpetrator of the next one's going to get a yellow card. It feels as though we're almost at that point. Although the hydration break might calm tempers just a little bit. It's the opposite could be true as well, potentially. We'll find out shortly. The hydration break, I would imagine, only about a minute or so away. First of all, though, this Argentine free kick, which is 18 yards inside England territory. England keeping a very high line, 7 outside the penalty area. Ball is worked out towards the right for Simeone. Simeone trying to drag it inside the penalty area, taking on Spencer, stood his ground well, but he has conceded the first Argentina corner.
Yeah, good defending by Spence there. Just kept his eyes on the player, on the ball. He's feinting to go one way then the other. He wasn't falling for that. I think Argentina have showed when they pick the ball up and get the opportunity to play through that they're pretty slick with their passing. England have got to concentrate, especially when we're in possession of the ball going forward.
Simeone doing everything he can to invade Jordan Pickford's personal space. Right in front of you, Faye.
Jim, I'm just talking to our producer about it. Simeone's trying to get into Jordan Pickford's face, and Jordan Pickford has just put his hands on his hips. Do whatever you need. He's keeping calm, as are all of the England players under intense pressure.
Simeone is still there. He's not allowing Pickford any room for manoeuvre here. In comes the corner. Pickford caught underneath it a little, but the referee saw an infringement and has given England a free kick inside their 6-yard box. Pickford asking just for a little bit of clarification whether that is going to be taken now or after the hydration break, and it is the latter. We're 24 minutes in, it's 0-0, it's feisty.
It is. Simeone there demonstrating that he's just watched the film Last Tango in Paris with Pickford. Dance-wise, that is, by the way.
Absolutely. Little two-step between the pair of them. Waltzing through the 6-yard box with a little tango thrown in as well.
So, the 23 minutes that we've watched so far, no surprises whatsoever. We've seen both teams, the niggle, the intensity prior to the game kicking off, the abuse of each other's anthem. No surprises whatsoever in that. Both teams have got to make sure, well, I don't really care about Argentina, if truth be known. England have got to make sure they don't get drawn into any unnecessary pushing and shoving scenarios. I think the referees managed to deal with everything pretty well just by not booking anybody at this stage. If he'd have started booking someone in the earlier minutes, which he could have done, Jim, this game could have turned into farce, but anyone's game.
Anyone's game at the minute, Stu, and I tell you what, they have kept very calm, the England players. Clearly that's what they've been told by Thomas Tuchel. He's in and amongst the players at the moment, actually, and he was speaking to Jed Spence and Mark Gahey and giving them some instructions. Jordan Pickford, after that moment there with Simeone, was just laughing and looking over towards Dean Henderson and just kind of shrugging. So I think, you know, they're trying to get in their heads. They're going in for a little but of afters, Argentina, and England are keeping calm. The only real time that I've seen Thomas Tuchel particularly animated was when Elliot Anderson was taken down in Argentina's half, and they've really targeted Elliot to try and get in his head. I'm just watching Ezri Konsa go down and warm up, actually. Oh, in fact, I think he's just running to the toilet. I wondered what he was doing on his own. But yeah, they're having a huddle at the moment. Thomas Tuchel in the middle of it, getting everybody to keep calm. There's been a lot of fingers to temples from Jordan Pickford and the defenders. They know that the way to get through this game, as you said, Stu, is just keep calm heads.
Yeah, I think one thing from me as well that I'd like to see England be a bit more forthright in playing through the thirds. I think we pass the ball and keep in possession of the ball. Anderson's getting on it a lot, but you've got to have a vision of why you're trying to keep moving that ball, and the vision is to free space up, to get the ball into the wide areas or into the likes of Kane and Bellingham, and we need to do that slightly better than we are.
So far so good as far as England are concerned. Through the opening 27 minutes of action now, possession almost 50-50, England dominating early on, and then Argentina coming way back into it, a corner apiece, 11 fouls given away, and that crime count is pretty even, truth be told. Not a single attempt so far. A game that certainly has the potential to go the distance. resume with a free kick to Jordan Pickford and England inside their own penalty area. Gets it back from Mark Gahey, and now we'll drive it forward left-footed through the midfield. It was a poor one, though. He was under pressure from Alvarez, and he just had a hasty swipe at the ball forward. And then Alvarez then getting it back, trying to work it inside the penalty area for Messi, and it's counted off him and gone out of play. But that was the first loss of concentration from an England player.
Yeah, it's just a lack of conviction about playing that ball through the thirds in many ways. It was never on, in my opinion. It was really tight to receive and play that distance.
Now England getting it forward down the right have got a throw or a free kick. In fact, they haven't got either. It's a throw to Argentina that has been given, and Reece James is, perhaps with some justification, complaining about the lack of a free kick that was given his way after a challenge from Alexis McAllister. Worth noting, England haven't had a shot before the hydration break in the first half in any of their knockout games so far at this tournament, in all four of them up to this point. Emi Martinez has got the ball at his feet. He's playing it back to the edge of the penalty area. This is an Argentinian side who've won their last 13 games, the best run that they've ever been on in their history. They've averaged 3 goals a game, as near as makes no difference. They've only conceded 7 in that run of 13 matches. The last defeat coming against Ecuador back in September. Martinez plays a long straight ball forward now. Spence got the positioning absolutely correct to head it away. Now he goes towards Simeone on the Argentinian right, and he's just put it straight over the line and out for an England throw. So he is playing effectively as an orthodox right winger, Simeone, but they sort of will rotate on the axis of Enzo Fernandez, if you understand what I'm saying. So he will sort of push out towards the right hand side, at times come into from a central midfield area, and then Simeone shifts in one into the middle, and Molina comes forward down the right. England have got to make sure that they're fully conversant with all the movement down that Argentinian right hand side. They seemingly have been so far. Anderson will play it out towards Gahey. Gahey's ball to Anthony Gordon. It's now the longest wait from the first whistle for a shot in any of the 102 matches at this World Cup. Free kick given away by Gordon, taken really quickly by Argentina, but smothered